No one serving as a prison matron in the state of New Hampshire.
Would you like to speak to your second, Representative Rhodes?
No, thank you.
I'll just add that I felt the testimony was compelling. I think that indeed women have come a long way, and there's no need to separate and identify them differently than their brother officers. So, anyone further discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek, Representative Hill,
Oh, no, he can't vote.
Okay. Representative Janvrin, Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright, Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Selig, Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion passes 19-0.
19-0, the motion carries. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it will be on the consent calendar. I hereby close the executive session, SB 29. Open the executive session on SB 38. And I recognize Representative Janvrin to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move ought to pass.
Is there a second? Second, Representative Tenzar. Representative Janvrin, would you like to speak to your motion?
Yes, thank you. After speaking with my police chief yesterday afternoon about this bill, I understand that it is absolutely true that our dog officer has to have a police officer go to the court to get summonses in the place of an arrest warrant. So along that, I would definitely move ought to pass for this.
Thank you. Representative Tenzar, would you like to speak to your second?
I agree with Representative Janvrin.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright, Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Selig,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Motion carries unanimously. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it'll go on consent. I hereby close the executive session on SB 38. Open the executive session on SB 182 and recognize myself to make a motion. I make a motion of ought to pass. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Mannion. I'll speak to my motion. It seemed pretty clear that this is correcting an error that the Supreme Court felt was there, but they just happened to discover 30 years later. That's all I got, but it seems like it's necessary at this point. I do overall would say that I feel like there are some issues with the whole system of someone being able to pull over and possibly not drive because they realize they're intoxicated, but that goes to a different bill and a whole set of statutes. So in the meantime, we'll do as the Supreme Court asked us to do, and I recommend that you follow and vote ought to pass. Further discussion. You want to speak to your second, Representative? I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright,
Yes.
Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Selig,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Motion carries unanimous. Anyone object to consent? There being none, it will go on the consent calendar. I hereby close the executive session on Senate Bill 182. We're not going to take up SB 244 at the moment, looking into an amendment. I'll open the executive session on SB 245. Actually, no, I won't. We're going to hold off on that one too. And I'll open the executive session on SB 81 relative to interlock devices, and I'll recognize Representative Rhodes to make a motion. Interlock devices. Is that one here yet?
Please hold.
Stand by. I'm moving too fast.
This one.
What have you done?
I didn't do it. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Chair, would it be possible if we exec the next bill on the list and came back to that?
Okay, I'm going to recess the executive session I just opened on 81. Open the executive session on SB 209. Is that the one you're good on?
Yep.
And recognize Representative Rhodes for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion of ITL on House Bill 209.
Is there a
I'm
second?
sorry, Senate Bill.
Is there a second? Representative Stone seconds. Speak to your motion, Representative Rhodes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So I would like it to be known that I'm not making a motion to ITL this bill because I don't think it's necessary. That there is a House version of this bill that we worked very diligently on with a subcommittee, and we had all the stakeholders in the room, and we actually went as far as to ask how each and every single thing we discussed would be implemented in the jail or in the prison. With that being said, that particular version seems to have a lot of support, and the consensus seems to be that bill has stronger language. So yesterday, while we were sitting here, I well over an hour looked at every single difference on the two, and it seems to me that to make the changes, if we decided to make those changes, would be a matter of one sentence and one word. And I actually talked with the sponsor out of respect for all the work that she put into that bill. And when we did not put a number, this is all important, bear with me. We didn't actually put a number when we came to menstrual products because at the time we were asked not to, and we were told that the word sufficient was actually going to be better. Now it seems that it may be better if we do actually have a number in there, which we are willing to do that. We also did not put about youth detention center specifically because, again, at the time we were told that the youth detention center is in a county and in the state, so it would still already fall under this new RSA. However, after talking with the sponsor, she doesn't necessarily have a problem with putting that language in. And that is something I told her that I'd be really happy to sit with and work with her on that in the event that that's what we're going to decide to do. So for all those reasons, I actually think that the House version is done. I think it is something that we all did together and we're all very, very proud of it. And I think that the Senate version needs a lot more work that, quite frankly, I don't think that we have to do. We already did it once.
Would you like to speak to your second, Representative Stone?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I concur with Representative Rhodes.
Thank you. I'm going to just quickly address the issue on this. Um, we did a lot of work on this as a subcommittee, and I feel like our bill was really good. We sent it over, and passing an identical bill makes absolutely no sense. We need one piece of legislation to work with. And for some strange reason, it happens sometimes that we in the House will write a bill, and somehow inspiration strikes someone in the other body to write the exact same bill. I don't know how that happens, but one of them need not survive. I don't see the sense in passing another one, and frankly, I think it just it encourages the same thing to happen. We only need one bill, so. I would urge everyone to vote ITL on this bill, and let's work on the bill that we put all the time and effort into. Thank you. Further discussion? Representative Muse?
Yeah, thank you. In situations like this, I mean, we do have a choice. We can ITL a bill and get rid of it, which basically gets rid of the bill. We also have the option to retain it because we never really have any idea what the other body is going to do with the bill when we send it to them. They could turn around and do the same thing. And I think one of the things I thought that our work on the House bill was, maybe one of our best moments. We really got to the heart of the issue, and I think we sent a very good bill to the floor, and we sent a very good bill to the Senate. But again, we never quite know what the other body is going to do with the bill, and by retaining it, if something untoward does happen to the bill, we have an option to do something in the second year. And given the severity of the problem, and I just think I think we were all in a state of shock when we heard the testimony that things like that were actually going on in our state, or actually in our county prison system. It seems like the state prison doesn't really have this issue as much, but I think part of it is just from the standpoint of looking at the risk of something like this not going through. It might be a better option to retain it.
Thank you. Representative Rhodes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I do recognize everything that you're speaking to, Representative Muse, and I agree. Stop the Earth. I agree with you, Representative Muse. But I think that it's important to understand that after yesterday's hearing and during the hearing, it was made evidently clear to a lot of representatives in this room that the intention was for us to make the Senate version what the House version was. And respectfully, we already did this work once. It really is a really good piece of legislation that I, quite frankly, never would have thought of. I'm glad that it came to us, and we did the work. That bill is going to the House with crazy support. I never saw anything like it, to be honest with you. And I don't feel that it's our responsibility in this committee to take it upon ourselves to make another bill identical. That was not what our job was. We did what our job is, and we did it well.
Okay, I don't think anyone's going to be swayed on this. So who's left? Representative Saley, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I just want to say the one difference between the two is I believe the Senate version has the FN, and the version that we sent through, I think, did not. So in terms of supporting retaining it, my concern is if the Senate should come back and say that there should have been a fiscal note and block it for that reason, if we've retained this version, we can still, it didn't, or did they? There's not? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was. I apologize. I withdraw my comments.
No, there's no fiscal note. Otherwise, it would have been a constitutional violation. That's okay. Yeah, I just, I hate politics getting in the way of politics. So I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll. Who was left? Is somebody left? Oh, I'm sorry. I missed Representative Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It would seem to me if the House has already made its position known and it wasn't ITL'd, it was passed, then there would be no reason for if something untoward happened in the Senate, there would be no reason why the same bill couldn't be filed next year. We have a House position. So it's only the Senate that the House would, if the Senate killed our bill, there would be still no reason why you couldn't submit it again for next year. So there's nothing to be gained by the retain that I can see.
Yeah, that's correct. If it passes our body, we could bring it up again just as quickly as we could the retained bill. And frankly, there would be no reason for the Senate to kill it if they already passed it, or something a little actually not as good as ours. So, yes, Representative Bolden.
I just want to mention that in my first term, I filed a bill that was similar in intent but not wording as a bill filed by a senator. The chair of the committee in the Senate that my bill went to after it passed the House had beef with the senator who'd filed a similar bill. So they amended my bill to have the Senate wording. And then when the Senate bill came, they killed it. So you never know the dynamics here or in the Senate, or what someone's reasoning might be. It was a great win for me. But I'm sure that the senator who got the shaft was pretty disappointed. But I think that there's no harm in retaining because you can always kill something.
The harm in retaining is that that we already have, I think, 6 or 7 bills retained that I'd have to assign subcommittees to, and we have to come up with a product.
That's why I said I would continue working on something.
And we've already, there's no work left to do on it. So the retain would only be a political move. And frankly, I just again, I don't see the logic behind it. We passed it. We did the work. And it was made abundantly clear, because I agree with you, you don't know what could happen, but on this one we do, because we were told that the intent was to make the Senate bill the one. And frankly, our bills are filed much earlier than theirs, and our bills are not a grocery store. You just can't go shopping for which one you like and copy it. So, clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright,
No.
Representative Muse,
No.
Representative Bolden,
No.
Representative Bradley,
No.
Representative Murphy,
No.
Representative Newman.
No.
The clerk votes no. Representative Newell,
No.
Representative Selig,
No.
Representative Wheeler,
Reluctantly, I vote no.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is 10-10.
May I ask a question of the chair?
You may.
So, I don't know if this is a parliamentary inquiry or what, but so this is going to go to the floor, no recommendation. If it ends up dying, what happens?
Yeah, then at that point,
But what I mean is, Representative Hill's point that the House position is now.
then it would not be able to be brought back. So
And well, that's what I mean. Anything on that subject matter, because the House position, and maybe Representative Hill knows. I know he's really experienced, but like, is that rule about subject matter, not specific legislative wording?
I see what you're saying. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I would suspect, since it's similar, then it would not be. Representative Janvrin, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah. My favorite one is indefinitely postponed. That means the subject matter can't come up again. But for an ITL, they can bring it back.
Representative Wheeler, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman, I wonder if it would be appropriate. Given Representative Bolden's comments and Representative Hill's comments, I would like to reconsider my vote, and I wonder if it would be appropriate to move reconsideration, so we may change our vote on that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, somebody?
I'm sorry, I have a question again.
Oh.
Is the intent to, that's what I'm concerned about. I don't know if I was clear before, but if the decision on the House floor is ITL on this, will that invalidate the previous ought to pass that passed the House because of the similar subject matter? And then do we no longer have a solid House position? That's what I'm just trying to understand.
I've never encountered it. Representative Hill, what do you think?
I don't believe so. I think what would happen is, it was the House bill that has the ought to pass on it. And I believe, and without putting words in the speaker's mouth, but generally what happens is the speaker, reviews the House bill, and it would be the speaker to determine whether there is a conflict in this. But,
Within the rules.
having not seen, all I'm saying is, if the bill is substantially the same and we did pass the House bill, that would be the bill that he would determine that it can come back because the language is passed at the House level.
So,
That would be my guess.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So let me make something very, very clear. The changes that were requested that we make to the version we currently have been started. And when the sponsor, who is sitting in this room, goes to present the bill to the other body, that amendment will be in hand and already sent to them. So that's why I certainly cannot predict what they're going to do, but based on what we heard yesterday, that they're already, everything that they want is already in there. And the couple of things that we were told don't have to be in there, we're still going to put in there, but with one sentence and one change of a word instead of having to do all of the things that they requested. So I would find it very unlikely that they're not going to pass it.
okay, Representative Wheeler, go ahead.
I just want to add for the members of this committee that the sponsor of the House legislation wants us to kill the Senate bill for the reasons outlined.
Representative Harry Gathright has asked for a short recess, so I will give us 5 minutes. What? Okay, at this point, Senate Bill number 209 is currently been voted on, and the result is no recommendation, and that's how it's going to stay. And we are moving on. Yeah, Representative,
I withdraw my motion to reconsider.
and yeah, she does. Okay, so moving right along. Yes, sir.
We're still gonna have to file, reports of
Yeah,
the
I
committee
know.
for both sides. So one is for ITL, what's the other one going to be for?
One will be out to pass. That's, whatever they want.
make the
You
motion to
can't make a
retain it.
motion to retain. No, no, we're done. We'll deal with that when it comes to time. Right now, it's going to be there'll be two reports. Our side will be ITL, and the other side has to be a positive motion. So it's got to be either ought to pass. You can't make a motion to retain because it can only be retained in the committee or table. That would be it. Okay. Let's make amendment of this. Any All right, at this point, I'm going to open the executive session again on SB 245, and I'm going to recognize myself to make a motion of ought to pass. I'll explain it in a second. If I can have a second.
Second.
Thank you. I'll speak to my motion. We had some discussion about whether or not this was necessary at all in light of the recent amendment we passed to the Constitution regarding privacy, the whole concept of an entire hotel list guests being available to law enforcement to just look at for any reason or no reason, we found a little bit troubling. Having said that, I think that that's something that we can take up, or I will take up in the fall after I've had a chance to confer with law enforcement and everybody involved rather than just do something else now. So we're just going to go ahead and pass it as it is if we agree.
Mr. Chairman?
In the underlying bill, as it is simply to just allow them to use electronics versus having to maintain a paper book. Would you like to speak to your second?
You said it very well, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Jambrin.
I have an amendment sitting up in committee services for this bill.
What does that amendment do?
It changes, it removes the also known as, because it requires that the legal name be present on that list, and it opens it for a couple other law enforcement officers. I can go get that if you'd like.
I'll be honest with you, in light of what I said, I think that we really need to revisit the entire subject, and I'd rather just pass it and deal with it in a separate bill, because I think that we need to really examine whether or not it should be there at all. So, I mean, given that we're running out of bills that we don't have amendments for, I'd rather just move along if that's okay with you. Yes, Representative Salek.
I'm sorry. Thank you for taking my question. Where it says each guest shall sign their legal name, is that inclusive of children?
It doesn't say, but I think guests, meaning the guests that actually are the ones signing for the room, not the guests of the guest.
I'm just concerned because the language does specify each guest, so it just leaves
I
me
think the current
concerned.
statute actually says that, does it not? Do you have the bill? Anybody?
I believe that is the current language.
Yeah,
The intent is the registered guest.
yeah. I don't think that this amendment changes. I think it's already in the law. This just says how they have to do it. Representative Bolden.
I'm sorry. I thought that the assistant for the senator wanted us to pass an amendment that took out the word sign. But I don't think any of us have drafted it. They needed one of us to author it with OLS, but they had already written it up under the senator's name.
Okay.
Bring my amendment down.
I will recess this one again. Seems we're moving faster than OLS can keep up with us on these amendments. Mhm. Okay, is there anything else we can take up while we're waiting for amendments? 81 is interlock devices. No, so we're waiting on an amendment for that one. Okay. Yeah. And the reason I put the kibosh to the period.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
I just have a quick question. Did we not get into the voting mode? I thought I heard a motion in a second. Do we have to undo that? I just want
Which one are you talking about?
for the bill that we were, the 245. I'm just.
Yeah, we did.
If
in
we
the-
are in the process.
We are.
Do we recess just? I
Yeah,
just want to-
we're recessing.
We're recessed, so we're recessed, but we are in the voting mode. at the
Yes,
current
so I'm going to
time,
have to withdraw my motion,
and we'll see what
entertain
happens.
the
Thank you.
amendment. Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure.
no, thank you. Okay, thank you. While we took a short break due to technical difficulties, as we rejoin our program. This bill, Senate Bill, where's the hotel one?
245.
245. I'm going to recess this until next week, Wednesday or Thursday. We have some work that we're going to do on it. And in deference to the people who requested it from the hotel industry, I let them know that we are going to take care of the electronic issue, and our issue is more to do with the underlying actual law itself. And we will discuss that and come up with something by next week. So that is now recessed until then. Now I'm going to take up SB 81, and I recognize Representative Harriet Gathright to make a motion.
Motion to ought to pass for House Bill, Senate Bill 81.
I'll hear a second.
Second.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you. I think it was well explained yesterday as to why they wanted to make the changes to the levels and the agreement with, what is that other group called? I forget the name of it. The GELCAL system. Yeah, so we can just move to vote on it.
Representative Rhodes, would you like to add to that?
No way.
Yeah, this seemed to be just an administrative fix. And I agree with Representative Harriet Gathright. Any discussion? Seeing none, ask the clerk to call the roll. The motion on the floor is ought to pass.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright,
Yes,
Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Salick,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler, Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Unanimous motion passes, ought to pass. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it'll be on the consent calendar. Senate bill is closed, 81. And at this point, I open the executive session on Senate Bill 76, and I recognize Representative Rhodes to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move ought to pass on Senate Bill 76 and offer amendment
Ought to pass with amendment.
2023125H.
Does everyone have a copy of the amendment? You do? Would you like to speak to your motion on the amendment? Oh, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Seconded by Representative Harriet Gathright.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So yesterday when we heard this bill, there was actually a proposed verbiage for an amendment that was brought to us. And I took that amendment and I took that verbiage and actually made it into amendment. And with that, we actually took out the words medico-legal and we just actually made it say death. And we addressed the sequence as well.
Representative Gathright, would you like to speak to your second?
well said.
Thank you. Again, this was the medical examiner, chief medical examiner. She had some really good points, and I think that it's a good amendment. So I would urge the members to vote ought to pass or to adopt the amendment. So I'll ask the clerk to call the roll on the amendment.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright,
Yes,
Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman,
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell?
Yes.
Representative Selig?
Yes.
Representative Wheeler?
Yay.
Chairman Roy?
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Representative Saley?
I'm sorry, do we need to change the title? Because it's right now listed as medico legal, whatever, however you say that.
The title doesn't affect the subject of the bill.
Okay.
The title will forever be lost to history.
Relative reporting deaths. It used to say relative to reporting medical.
Yeah, the amendment changes that anyway.
Thank you.
That's okay. At this point, I recognize Representative Rhodes to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move ought to pass as amended for Senate Bill 76.
Seconded by Representative Murray. Any further discussion? Would you like to address it?
We're good.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to call the roll.
Vice Chair votes
Yes.
Representative Pratt?
Yes.
Representative Patusek?
Yes.
Representative Hill?
Yes.
Representative Janvrin?
Yes.
Representative Mannion?
Yes.
Representative Reed?
Yes.
Representative Stone?
Yes.
Representative Tenzar?
Yes.
Representative Gathright?
Yes.
Representative Muse?
Yes.
Representative Bolden?
Yes.
Representative Bradley?
Yes.
Representative Murphy?
Yes.
Representative Newman?
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell?
Yes.
Representative Selig?
Yes.
Representative Wheeler?
Yay.
Chairman Roy?
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Motion is unanimous. Ought to pass as amended. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it'll go on consent. And at this point, I'm going to open executive session on House Bill 251 and recognize myself to make a motion. I move inexpedient to legislate on SB 251. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. I'll speak to the motion. This is an important subject, and as I said yesterday, we have. This would give us literally just like 2 months, and I don't think this subject matter is more important than and deserves more than 2 months. We'd barely get any facts and data together by then, let alone try to figure out something to do. This should have been a commission. I offered to make it a commission. That wasn't well received. This committee, I don't know about anyone in here. I'm speaking for myself. We've already got a busy summer with retained bills that we have to come out with with legislation for by October. And this would give us until about the same time to study this issue and come up with a good report and recommendation for legislation. I think that if it's worthy of study, it can be studied anytime by anyone interested in making a bill, or it could be a commission. But frankly, to just pass it for the sake of passing it and not do it the service it's due, there's people that are suffering, as we heard. We heard the member from the ACLU, Mr. LaCase, tell us that's an important and in-depth and complicated issue. His case alone sounds very complicated. So I think we would be paying lip service to it and little else by doing that. So would you like to speak to your second?
No, thank you.
Open for discussion. Representative Muse.
I'm going to oppose the ITL motion. We've had numerous bills over the years that have come to us either at the behest of the parole board or because of the parole board and things that aren't firing on all cylinders over there. Back in 2019, the legislative budget assistant actually did a pretty comprehensive report with a lot of recommendations, some of which were acted on, but the vast majority of them weren't. Just because the report came to us at a time when I think we also had just had about 60 bills dumped in our lap. So I think Representative Roy makes a really good point when he says we have limited bandwidth, and I think that's something we always need to keep in mind. But my impression after serving on this committee for 3 terms is that the parole board is is undermanned, underfunded, behind from a technological standpoint. But one of the things that was new to me yesterday is the fact that 60% of the people in our state prison are there in part because of parole violations. So in a state where the main objective of our prison system is rehabilitation, and punishment is also something we do. It just strikes me that there are better ways, and I think one of the things we've been doing is we've been kind of dealing with some of the deficiencies and issues with the parole system via a bunch of individual bills, and I think we can either keep attacking it incrementally, and maybe some of those bills are on target and others are not. But one of the things that actually putting together a group to actually study an issue does is it gives you a certain base of knowledge, and if there are changes that are necessary or changes that really become apparent that need to be made, then you have a group of built-in co-sponsors, and hopefully smarter legislation. So that, I mean, the reason why we do study committees isn't to annoy each other and to take away from our beach time in the summer. It's because we have important issues like this that we can lend our expertise to and hopefully move forward. So I would hope that we could reverse the vote. Thank you.
And I thank you for volunteering to chair that committee, should that come to pass.
You're welcome. I would love to.
Representative Newell.
I thank you, Chair. I agree with Representative Muse and everything he said. I think, at this point, we are being asked to act, and it is an urgent matter. And so whatever, I'll be voting in against the ITL in favor of immediate action.
Further discussion, Representative Wheeler.
Well, I just want to say, Mr. Chairman, if this comes out 10-10, I'd really appreciate being on that study committee.
Representative Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wonder if the timing is the issue, if maybe the effective date could be changed to allow for some more time, given that we're at the end of things here now. And
Okay, based on the overwhelming urge of the members to volunteer for this committee, I'm going to withdraw my motion of ITL. Would you withdraw your motion of?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and I recognize Representative Muse to make a new motion.
I move on to pass.
Seconded by Representative Murray. Would you like to speak to your motion, or did you pretty much cover it?
I think I covered it, and
Yeah, and you can't get out of the whole chair thing.
Thank you. Thank you for your flexibility.
Hey, I aim to please. Any further discussion? Representative Wheeler.
I would just like to add for the minority that Joseph Lescaz, every time he comes, gives very good testimony, very heart-wrenching testimony, and I think all of us recognize there are serious flaws, complicated flaws within the parole system which need to be addressed, and I really appreciate you withdrawing your motion of ITL so that they can be studied, Mr. Chairman.
And I likewise appreciate your volunteering as well. Representative Selig.
I just wanted to, I think you've filled the House share of the committee, but I'd put myself up as an alternate.
Thank you.
Well, there's 3 House members, so those 3 that just spoke.
No,
You still do need to get appointed by
Yeah.
the Speaker.
I'm waiting to see which Republican annoys me to get added to that as well. Okay. So I think we've discussed that enough. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll. The motion on the floor is ought to pass.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janfrin,
Okay.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright,
Yes.
Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Salick,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Unanimous. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it'll go on the consent calendar, and I will, I'll seriously appoint that after it passes the House floor. What do we have next? Way ahead of schedule. We are waiting on, I think, one more amendment. So I'm going to say we're going to take a 15-minute recess, see if we can't track that down. And after that, we'll be completed our business for the day. So. Okay, everyone, we're going to open the executive session on Senate Bill 268, regarding the pre-hospital treatment for operational canines. And I recognize Representative Rhodes to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion ought to pass and offer amendment. It's the new one that you're just not getting. 2023-1259H.
That was seconded by Representative Harriet Gathright. Would you like to speak to your motion on the amendment?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So if you, this amendment is what we heard yesterday, and the only change is one word. It was on line 20. The last two words say ambulance service. And now instead of saying ambulance service, it will read, and no human needs transport and or treatment.
Would you like to speak to your second, Representative Harriet Gathright? Any further discussion on the amendment on the operational canines? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll on the amendment.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright, Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Salick,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
The amendment is adopted. I recognize Representative Rhodes to make another motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move ought to pass as amended for Senate Bill 268.
Is there a second? Seconded by Representative Murray. Would you like to speak to your motion?
Believe we're all set, Mr. Chairman.
Discussion. Anyone wish to discuss? Representative Mannion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My only question is, and I'm not sure how this works logistically about naming it. Was it supposed to be named Max's Law, or is that something we do here?
It's in the bill.
Is it in the bill? Okay. Right, perfect, thank you.
And I just want to add that I'm very pleased that we were able to take care of this so quickly, and
Who it is or what it's
this
for.
is a very important issue. Thank
I don't-
Stand by. Okay. We have confirmed that Max is mentioned in the law. All right. Seeing no further discussion, I'll ask clerk to call the roll. Motion is ought to pass as amended.
Vice Chair Rhodes,
Yes.
Representative Pratt,
Yes.
Representative Patusek,
Yes.
Representative Hill,
Yes.
Representative Janvrin,
Yes.
Representative Mannion,
Yes.
Representative Reed,
Yes.
Representative Stone,
Yes.
Representative Tenzar,
Yes.
Representative Gathright, Representative Muse,
Yes.
Representative Bolden,
Yes.
Representative Bradley,
Yes.
Representative Murphy,
Yes.
Representative Newman.
Yes.
The clerk votes yes. Representative Newell,
Yes.
Representative Salick,
Yes.
Representative Wheeler,
Yay.
Chairman Roy.
Chair votes yes.
Motion is unanimous.
Motion passes as amended. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, it will go on consent. And I close the public hearing on SB 251. For the information of the committee, we have a couple outstanding bills that we're going to take up Wednesday. of next week with our remaining 2 Senate bills, or 3 Senate bills, I think. And those are the hotel guests, SB 245, and the false reports of alarm, and that is SB 244. Those will be taken up next week in case you're curious or if anyone asks. Anything further from any members of the committee?
So Senate Bill 209, Mr. Chairman, is no recommendation. So would the other half, I said, would it be retain? Is that the motion that they would have preferred?
Yeah, the motion on the floor on SB 209 at the House will be ought to pass because it comes without
I
recommendation.
don't know who the floor broker is. Okay.
All right. And if you made the motion today, you owe me the report. And I will ask the vice chair or the clerk, someone to, if you could let me know who all owes reports, please, for today. And I will send out an email. If you get an email that you have a report to, if you could please get it to me by Sunday, I'd appreciate it. And if nothing else, I would ask if someone could tell me what in the wild world of sports this is.
What is that?
Was this Representative Bolden? Was this you? This? Did you do? I see. Well, all right then. We will take this and we will retain it. Anything further? If not, have a good weekend, everyone, and thank you once again for another week of hard work.